This exercise is a banded split squat. So it's a dead simple exercise. You've got two benches here so you can see it directly in front and behind you. Let's first of all look at what a split squat is. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically taking a squat and putting it on one leg. It's a very, very good exercise because if you externally load a squat to like 60 odd kg, then by the time you've got 30 kg on your one leg, then you could say it's quite parallel. You might argue that it's more difficult or more valuable because it's kind of unilateral. So it's a really, really excellent exercise. And to get 30 kg on one leg, you only really have to hold a 15 kg dumbbell in each hand, which makes it really portable. And those kind of numbers are really advanced as well. So actually, it's a very, very effective exercise that you will really know about all the way when you progress it from the very, very beginning with any amount of external load. It's very, very focused. Let's have a quick look at it. So essentially, here's your exercise. One leg goes back and trails at something like 45 degrees. You need enough space behind you so that you can take the hips backwards and get your weight loaded right over kind of mid-thigh, basically. So you should feel also that that means your weight is over mid-foot, and then you're going to drive through the ground. And all of these leg strength exercises of this sort are really a pelvic drive, where the leg strength exerts itself on the floor, and the whole foot really uses the floor. Back we go. Notice the chest is up, so we're on good posture. And that's basically your split squat. Yeah. Even when you first start to load that with just a couple of kilos, even before the load begins, it's really effective. If you're new to it and reasonably new to exercise, you're going to get sort of DOMs and those kind of really satisfying aches just from that. It's a superb functional leg strength exercise, and perhaps superior to the bilateral stuff anyway. When we do want to externally load it, if we go into a park or we don't have much equipment, then a band actually works really, really well. And there's something wonderful about a band, which is that the more that you pull it apart, the harder it gets, the further that you pull, meaning that the further into the range of the exercise it gets harder, and that's probably about right. So if I show you what happens here during the split squat, we put it over our neck, and be careful of your neck, don't hurt it, and then we're going to get it under our foot, careful of your back, so don't apply sort of pressure through the band to your back yet, because you want to set the posture well before you do, and you're going to put our foot down. That's it. Okay. Notice that I've sort of set my back upright first of all, so now when I do stand up, the band's going to pull down, but my posture's good, so it's not going to kind of pull for a round back, it's going to go through good posture. Then I'm going to stand up and I'll put my other foot back, and now I'm ready to use this band for the split squat. So what I meant by the band, and what's beautiful about the elastic as well, is that down here I've got actually not that much resistance because it's quite slack. And down here, at the bottom of the exercise, it's in some ways like the harder part. And as I go up, I really meet all of that resistance, and it gets harder and harder. So it's quite dynamic. It actually is a bit like holding a dumbbell, which changes weight throughout. And that factor with bands is pretty useful in lots of exercises, and pulls and all sorts. And it's useful here as well. But this dynamic is fantastic because it's also really good for injury prevention, actually. If you take into account the things I said about not setting up with a round back and making sure that you've got good posture, so that when you pull through, that downward force of the band is just through your body nicely. The same way that you would load a bar so that it didn't get to your lower back, it went kind of through good posture upper body onto the leg strength and onto the pelvis. Same thing. And there's your banded split squat. Yeah? Yeah, really nice exercise. You can see that from the front as well. So like I said, you could put it under your foot first and get down there. I think that's probably slightly more awkward. So we'll go neck, we'll set up. Band is still slack, so I'm not aggravating my back. Yeah? Get my back in a good position. Stand up against resistance. Get my foot ready. And then I'm going to come back through. Yeah? And drive up. Body flows backwards slightly with the hip so that your weight stays all the way over the middle of the thigh. You've got good weight distribution throughout the foot, and when you do exert your leg strength, you'll feel it come all the way through here, not just over the knee, and your pelvis is really going to be a driving force upwards, good upright posture throughout. That is a split squat with a band. Thank you.